Please stand for the flag salute. And I changed it up a bit.
Really good.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Counselor Daigle.
I'm still here.
Counselor Sarnowski.
Here.
Counselor Smalley.
Here.
Counselor Hamilton. Council President Whitaker is excused, so is Counselor Woods and Mayor Sumner.
Here. Any media present? Anyone wishing to speak before City Council today on any subject matter will need to fill out a speaker form and turn it into the recorder. Forms are available on the sign-in table in the back of the room. Please turn cell phones off or silence them during the meeting. Announcement for Zoom attendees. If you're joining today's meeting via Zoom, you will automatically be muted upon entry, and you'll need to identify yourself if your full name is not already attached to the device being used. You will be unable to unmute yourself. Public comments will only be taken if prior notification was given to the city recorder. Public comment. The purpose of this public comment period is to allow citizens to present information or raise issues regarding agenda items only. There will be a time at the end of the meeting for citizens to speak about off-agenda items. The time limit of 3 minutes per citizen shall apply. All citizens must come up to the microphone. The council appreciates the time taken by the public to provide comments and desires to hear your thoughts and concerns. However, to be able to run our meetings efficiently and to protect the rights of all involved, the city needs to utilize this time as a period of receiving rather than providing information. Thank you for your understanding. And I have two, if I can start with Jim Houseman.
Jim Houseman, 109 Frontier Court, representing Friends of Fourth Pond. Good morning, Mayor, members of the council. Our organization has been a dedicated partner to the city since 2017 master planning for the park. We have collaborated on grant after grant to turn Forts Pond into a premier community asset. However, we are here tonight because we have reached a critical impasse regarding the proposed Highway 138 vessel launch. We feel there's a safety conflict. While we support improved access to the pond, the current design is, to put it bluntly, a safety hazard. As proposed, vehicles with boat trailers would be required to back across the primary multi-use pedestrian path to launch. This creates a high-risk intersection between heavy vehicles and path users, including families with small children and seniors. We've pointed this out since 2021, yet we were told this was the only design available by the Marine Board. We cannot, in good conscience, support a design that prioritizes trailer convenience over pedestrian lives. We also have a question about necessity. But furthermore, we must ask, why do we need a trailer ramp? Forts Pond is strictly limited to electric or human-powered craft with a 5-mile-per-hour speed limit. These are hand-launched vessels. The Oregon State Marine Board offers specific funding for hand-launch facilities that are safer, more cost-effective, and align perfectly with our existing regulations. Pushing for a trailer incline ramp is, in our view, forcing a square peg into a round hole. On the regulatory and grant spectrum, beyond safety, there is a serious compliance risk. Grant obligations. Our previous state parks grants mandate a 10-foot wide path. In addition, the city standards for multi-use paths are also 10 to 12 feet wide. Any design that narrows this path to accommodate boat preparation in violation of our prior agreements and city planning standards is a violation of our prior agreements and city planning standards. We should not be jeopardizing our standing with the state for a design that doesn't fit pond's use. We want to provide the city with a letter of support. We want this project to move forward, but we cannot endorse a plan that ignores safety feedback and established standards. So our formal question to the city, if the city intends to move forward with this specific proposed design, what funds are being allocated for the engineering and design work required to mitigate these documented safety risks? We urge you guys to look at the hand launch approach. Thank you.
Thank you. And Beth?
Beth Houseman, 109 Frontier Court. Good morning. Regarding the boat ramp design included in the packet, I would like to present my concerns on impacts to the paved path. I often walk the path and I live nearby. I know hundreds of people use the path every day throughout the year. Rain or shine or dense fog, from before sunrise to well past dark. They go in both directions. Bikes, scooters, dogs, kids, baby strollers, walkers, runners, skaters, all share the 10-foot wide path. They come to Ford's Pond because they feel safe. Parents say they like that their kids are away from the dangers of vehicle traffic. The littles run ahead or they zoom off on bikes and scooters, often out of shouting range of their parents. There is a sense of safety and security you would expect in a park. Yes, the master plan conceptualized boat ramp access, and your design appears to be for vehicles towing boat trailers with idling space to prepare before and after launch. But now that we've seen the path used and the water levels, I really don't think drift boats will be launched. I think you should aim for carrying in kayaks and small hand-powered craft. I think backing a truck and/or a trailer across this popular multi-use path is a safety nightmare. I'm worried a driver won't see the child on their scooter or bike coming from the side while focused on backing down, or they won't see a small child directly behind the boat trailer. I'm concerned pedestrians will have an obstructed view of the truck and trailer when other large vehicles are in the lot. If the width of the path is reduced, it could force people to shift their focus on avoiding others, and they may not see the backing vehicle. And I don't think we should have idling trucks and their toxic fumes right next to the path. I'm pleased the city has continued to seek funding for this project, but I don't feel this design is the best fit for this park. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Under consent agenda, April 13th, 2026, city council minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Daigle and a second by Hamilton.
A motion and a second to approve April 13th, 2026 city council minutes. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Councilor Daigle,
Aye.
Councilor Sarnoski,
Aye.
Councilor Smallman,
Aye.
Councilor Hamilton,
Aye.
Mayor Sona.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under council business, ordinance 1108, amending SMC 2.05.095B, non-resident committee membership, second reading and adoption.
An ordinance amending Sutherland Municipal Code, or SMC 2.05.095, boards, committees, and commissions to modify section 2.05.095B regarding non-resident membership on citizen advisory committees.
Staff report.
Mayor, councilors, as noted at the March 9th and March 30th meetings, our code incorrectly states that a non-resident may serve on the budget committee with a nomination from the mayor. This conflicts with the Oregon Revised Statutes, or ORS. This ordinance would correct that verbiage.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 1108 amending SMC 2.05.095B non-resident committee as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1108.
Second it.
A motion and a second.
Motion by Hamilton, second by Small.
Any discussion? Let's vote.
Counselor Daigle. Aye. Counselor Sarnoski.
Aye.
Counselor Smalley.
Aye.
Counselor Hamilton.
Aye.
Mayor Summer.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under resolution 2026.07 appropriations transfer, staff report.
Good morning, Mayor and Councilors. Tammy Trowbridge, Finance Director. You have in front of you Resolution 2026.07, an appropriations transfer, and we're asking that you consider approving this to adopt the resolution for this transfer from contingency to city attorney for the labor negotiations that have been taking place. ORS 294.4632 permits local jurisdictions to increase total expenditures of a fund or an object classification by transferring appropriation authority from one object classification to another. It is a common situation in which appropriations are transferred from one category to another within a fund when a specific need is identified for the money that was budgeted and appropriated as operating contingency. ORS 294.4631 requires the adoption of a resolution or an ordinance to authorize these transfers. The resolution must state the need for the transfer, the purpose of the expenditure, and the amount to be transferred. The purpose of this is for from contingency going into city attorney labor negotiations. And at the time the budget was prepared, we did not foresee needing a new labor attorney, nor the additional cost of ongoing union negotiations, and the fact that this attorney actually drives down here and is involved in every one of the meetings. So it's been more costly than we expected. We haven't seen that before, but it is completely welcomed. And contingency funds are sufficient to cover this transfer of $10,000. Because of the small amount of the transfer and there being no other changes to the fund, a supplemental budget notice and process was not required. It can just be done by resolution. And the fiscal impact is, of course, just $10,000 moved out of the contingency up to city attorney. And the staff recommend your options are to either adopt this resolution 2026.07 appropriations transfer as presented, or not to adopt it. And staff recommendation is that you do adopt it, allowing us to proceed.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Smalley and a second by Hamilton.
Any discussion? Let's vote.
Counselor Daigle. Aye. Counselor Sarnoski.
Aye.
Counselor Smalley.
Aye.
Counselor Hamilton.
Aye.
Mayor Summer.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Under resolution 2026.08 Ford's Climb LGGP grant, staff report.
Mayor, Council, Christy Gilbert, Community Development. So as that third phase of the Fourth Pond Master Plan, we are continuing to seek funds to build out that Highway 138 parking lot with vaulted toilet and ADA accessibility into the water. The Oregon State Marine Board has engineered the drawings. We are, as we continue to seek funds, we continue to apply for these grants. So that's pretty much what this is for. To speak a little bit to a couple of the concerns. The design is originally intended, it's not, for big watercraft or anything. It was those kayaks that are a little harder for people to carry down, heavier, or if somebody's not as strong. So those were the intents. I can definitely work with the Marine Board as far as, is there another design, or what are those options look like to keep everyone safe? But this would help seek those additional funds to eliminate costs on the city budget. The other grant that would coincide with this is the Oregon State Marine Board that is also due at the same time, that you've already supported.
Alright. Do I have a motion?
This is the cheap grant.
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion by Sarnoski and a second by Hamilton.
Great. Any discussion? Here's where we can look at it.
The items like Jim was talking about the bulk lounge and stuff, are we like, for sure gonna happen, it's just a suggestion at this point.
This is to obtain funds for it to happen. So the design was originally brought up in the master plan for Ford's Pond. And so now this is that third phase of the master plan that we're trying to seek funding for. So if we're able to seek funding successfully, then it would forward.
Requiring funds from.
Any funds from the city?
Yeah.
Not at this time. So we're trying to seek funds from this grant as well as the Oregon State Marine Board to cover the costs. So we have a couple grants that we're trying to work together on.
So who's actually working on this?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's no other committee.
On the grant application,
Well, what they're.
staff's working on the grant applications.
What they're gonna do with the money. I mean.
You mean like the design?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Marine Board helped design.
Yes.
Like, no.
Well, it's not final. These are just concepts. These are so we had to get the engineering concepts out there in order to get our wet. So they gave us 10,000 with a 10,000 match grant in years past. We've now obtained the wetland permitting and the joint application through the US Army Corps of Engineers in order to move forward. So that has been quite the timely process. Now that we have a permit in hand, we can seek funds to move forward. So this is the next step to get us to construction of it.
I'm assuming you have to have some kind of a drawing to.
Yeah,
apply for
we'll
a
have to
grant.
have, yes, and we'll have to have
That's
final engineered drawings to construct it, but at this point, this is the concept that they came up with. And so the drawing has to comply with the wetland permit in order to move forward.
Okay.
So there's
I'm
still
sure
time to,
it's Still, we can
see
make some
options.
adjustments.
This is just some fun.
Right. I just don't wanna ignore people that have comments to make about this.
And that's what she was saying, that we'll work with them with concerns. And that this drawing isn't final.
Right.
It's just the concept that you have to apply for a grant.
Okay.
There's plenty of time to come to an agreed upon design.
Exactly.
And I agree, big boats shouldn't be out there, they would be dangerous.
big boats can't go out there due to depth requirements.
Well, do we get very many anyway that are smaller? Motorboat type,
I don't think.
Right
we're gonna
now,
have
you can-
motor,
Right now, you can only hand carry everything.
yeah.
And so the concept is just to help those that do carry their boats and to get them down there safely.
But we can make it to where it's not gonna be on the path at all.
I don't know what that looks like. I don't have that mindset, so I will have to work with
that's
Forest
something
Pond and the
you're-
engineers and so on, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you get from the parking lot, the water without crossing the path.
There's no way to
There's
do
no way
that.
to, yeah.
There will be a path crossing if there's gonna be a boat ramp. Period.
Cause the path
Crosses.
crosses the
Yes.
parking lot, there's no other way.
So
So,
what they're getting at is not a truck backing a trailer across it, some sort of hand launch, something smaller, minimal. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
but I think there's time to come together and discuss.
You know, realistically, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of trailer boats. In this whole thing, I mean.
You know, right now it's limited to young people that can literally drag a kayak or a boat
Right.
down that bank and get in there. Elderly people that want to bass fish or do whatever, they can't
Right.
get there. And so some,
And to preserve the banks as well as the other part of the wetland permitting, so it doesn't keep paving away.
So do we have signage that says that somebody with a kayak could be coming across, or something to warn them that.
Like currently,
Yeah,
like if someone were dragging their kayak down, no, we
Yeah.
don't have any signage that says look out for
Kayak
kayaks.
crossing.
I mean, that's all pretty slow foot stuff, and if there was a ramp, we would eventually have to have some signage, I'm sure.
So we're just approving the grant at this point anyhow, right?
yeah, just if I can, but at least we're gonna look into it.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Yes, but
Counselor Daigle,
Aye.
Counselor Sarnoski.
Aye.
Counselor Smalley,
Aye.
Counselor Hamilton,
I,
Mayor Sandra.
aye,
Motion carries.
under reports. City manager report.
Mayor, City Council,
Microphone.
I have nothing.
I have something. On to council comments. Remember, monthly meeting time is limited. Please ask questions or make statements that are likely to benefit the group. Individual comments and questions that can be handled on a one-on-one basis should be handled outside the meeting. Start with Councilor David.
You know, I've got thinking.
Uh-oh.
Which we can't drop it.
I see the smoke.
Hey, we have a lot of great events that go on here that bring people in town. But I think it'd be really neat if we could find a tourist reason for people to come here during the week or stay a day or two to see whatever attraction we have. I think we should actively try to find that kind of attraction. And I think that's probably a function of the chamber more than us, but I'd sure like to encourage that. Maybe we could find something like maybe for example, a zip line or something that would bring people to Sutherland for something other than the events we have on the weekends. And I think it would help businesses a lot, as well as the city, of course. Anyhow, that's my thought for the day.
we'll put you in charge of that.
Okay,
Maybe you can meet with some chamber members.
I thought about that.
Thank you. Councilor Sarnoski. Councilor Smalley.
Wait, man of the year, Council.
Oh, here we
Man of the year. Councilor Sarnoski.
Let it go.
Councilor Hamilton.
I don't think I have anything.
Well, I will say that our Citizen Awards banquet was very nice. And I want to congratulate all the winners. And especially the man of the year who's here tonight, this morning. John. Congratulations. It's nice to have it in town this year at the golf course. It was a nice event. So, and thanks for everyone who helped put it together. Thank you. And it's a day late, but happy Mother's Day to everybody. So I think that's everything I have. So lastly, on to public comment. Purpose of public comment is to allow citizens to present information regarding items off the agenda. A time limit of 3 minutes per citizen shall apply. Let's start with Brent.
Brent and a Brett, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brent.
Brent Hussaker, 1972 Ridgeview. Over the past year, our community has had a lot of heated conversations about the safety fee, the food truck parking lot, Oak Street property, and even accusation that this council has been brainwashed. I want to use my time to bring us back to the facts. First, the safety fee. Karen Myers repeatedly framed the safety fee as mismanaged finances. But the city's audited finances show the opposite. The funds go exactly where the ordinances requires. She's also allowed people to believe that the fee was created without public input. Even though this decision was made in public meetings, with public notice, over a long period of time. And we need to be honest about why the fee exists, measures 5 and 50. That's why cities across Oregon have adopted similar fees. And Karen, since you speak to a large audience, it would be helpful to the community if you explain the difference between a fee and a tax. Second, the food truck parking lot. One key fact keeps getting left out. The deed requires the operators to run the business for 5 years, or the property automatically reverts back to the city. That's built-in taxpayer protection. Third, the brainwashed accusation. Disagreement is healthy. Debate is healthy, but calling elected volunteers brainwashed costs a lot. We can debate decisions without damaging trust. Fourth, the Oak Street. I personally contacted the Douglas County's assessor's office, and the information they provided confirms that real market value is based on what a willing seller and a willing buyer agree to, and not misinterpreted tax figures. Finally, the bigger picture. The only sustainable path forward is growth. In her radio interview, Karen said that she wants to keep settlements small. I understand that sentiment, but keeping the city small while costs rise is a recipe for financial disaster. Settling is a small town. We see each other at the grocery store. We stand in the same line at the post office. But when misinformation spreads, it divides neighbors who actually want the same thing: a safe, stable, and a well-run community. We can disagree passionately, but we owe it to each other to disagree. I can go. Thank you.
Thank you. Brett Brooks.
Council, Mayor, City Manager, Debbie, miss you. My name is Brett Brooks. I've been a member of this community for over 20 years. My wife is born and raised here, graduated high school here, and we've raised our 3 children here in this community. I'm a combat veteran, and I'm involved in my community as I'm a member of the board on the Music Off Central. Today, I'm not here to debate urban renewal or public safety fees. I'm here to respectfully ask the city manager and council to begin exploring the process of deregulating cannabis dispensaries in Sutherland. Over the past week, I took time to meet with both the mayor and city manager of Winston to better understand their process, the challenges they face, and why they ultimately decided to allow dispensaries in Winston. Their decision was based largely on budgetary realities, public safety funding needs, and access for members of their community who already utilize cannabis. Right now, Sutherland's missing out on revenue that's already being generated by its own residents. People in this community already purchase cannabis. They're simply doing it in Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and other areas. This means jobs, economic activity, and tax revenue are all leaving our community. Based on conservative estimates, Sutherland could potentially generate between $100,000 and $120,000 annually from local tax revenue, along with approximately $13,000 in state revenue sharing, all without increasing property taxes on residents. Beyond the tax revenue, a local operator has contributed over $102,000 back into community organizations through Douglas County, including schools, youth programs, first responders, and organizations right here in Sutherland. In neighboring communities, those contributions have included helping fund a new police cruiser in Myrtle Creek, along with support for their fire services and local libraries. After I speak, I will also be providing several examples that reflect that impact, including a letter from the mayor of Myrtle Creek, a letter from the Myrtle Creek Police Chief regarding the police vehicle donation, a letter from Friends of Myrtle Creek Library, and a list of contributions made across Douglas County, including within our own community. As a parent, I want to address concerns surrounding youth access and exposure. The data we have today, both statewide and locally, does not show an increase in adolescent cannabis use following legalization. In fact, most recent surveys indicate youth use has remained stable or even declined compared to pre-legalization levels. What research does show is that local decisions matter. Things such as store placement, density, advertisement standards can influence youth perception and access. This is exactly why thoughtful local control is so important. Oregon already has strict regulations, including requirements that dispensaries be located away from places where children congregate, such as schools. Importantly, this does not mean
Finish your thought.
this doesn't mean dispensaries on every corner. The city has total control. Ultimately, I'm here as to bring a potential that our community is missing out on. Regardless if the safety fee stays or is repealed, I think that we should still be exploring additional revenue resources that do not rely on asking more financially from our residents.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
May I pass these out to the city recorder for?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Last one, Jim Davis.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Time management is hard when you're retired. Anyway, good morning. And I have a grievance on a property line. My property line was 3 feet into my neighbor's yard. And so they called the city and they were gonna put up their own fence. And by mistake, they called my neighbor that was lives on the other side. He's putting up a pole barn. And they informed him that you can't put another driveway in. And you gotta have a 4-foot fence 40 feet from your property line. Well, some reason they allowed them to put it 29 feet of 4-foot fence and then 6 foot the remainder. So that's the city. So the city ordinance are flexible, right? Apparently. And I called my good neighbor broke my window out of one of my cars, and Officer Barrett showed up and he says, no, he couldn't throw it through that tarp. Well, he did. And he goes, that's caused by a freeze. And so when Austin Vineyard, a master technician, come out and installed it, he pointed to the point of impact where I showed it to Officer Barrett. And he says, no, freeze cracks, temperature cracks start at the dash and they work up. And this one was at the top and worked down. And so he got mad and said, well, it got cold and froze. And that's why it cracked. And, you know, I still didn't agree with him because we haven't had no freeze weather. And 2 weeks before, I just cleaned that windshield because get a lot of little bugs on it. And so it sat in my carport for 2 weeks. I didn't drive it, so I didn't get a road hazard. But anyway, he was dead wrong on his assumption. It kind of irritated me. So I did call him and inform him that the safe flight technician said that didn't happen that way, you know, and he went out the same point of impact. And as for my property line, I don't know why, you know, it's 3 feet. Is the city responsible for my land to be 3 foot on the other people's property?
So, Mr. Davis, what I would recommend is you go to the city and make an appointment with maybe Christie to talk about your property issues.
Make an appointment with whom?
Christie Gilbert.
Are you the attorney?
You're welcome.
I am so not the attorney.
Thank goodness. And so
But I
anyway,
think that's the time you have for today. But
you cut me off.
I'm sorry, yes, but the city,
I still
maybe
have-
city staff could help you with some of your questions.
Yeah,
That
that
would
would
be-
have more wine than I was hoping to
I
get.
know,
fees.
I'm really sorry. Thank you so much.
There is.
Mr. Davis, did you talk to our police chief?
I don't know who he is.
Well, I would go to the police department.
I did, and I was very angry, and I told them that Officer Barrett was wrong.
Okay,
I
well,
was offended for his report.
that's when you need to talk to a higher up, and probably the chief would be a good idea, and make an appointment with him. is what you typically do, that's usually protocol. And then if you don't get results,
Well, there's no results, I still have a broken window, but
well, but
I'll talk to him if somebody could write down his name.
How about we talk to you after the meeting?
You want me to see it?
Almost done. Any other public comments? All right, thank you. It's adjourned.